Alright, how's it going, everyone? We are on day 6, path 16 in the path of Uriens. Alright, make sure you got your hydration, maybe a pen and paper, thinking cap, etc., etc., etc. Let's begin. The 16th path transmits the influence of the Heirophant, and its tunnel is sentineled by the demon Uriens, who is evoked by vibrating his name in the key of C sharp. The name should be roared, or more properly, bellowed. His sigil should be inscribed in lines of flame. Note, in flame-colored lines. On a brown triangle. It shows a 7-armed figure. The upper 4 arms terminate in yods. So I'll actually show. Let's do the Shadow Tarot copy. This is the figure that they are referring to. His sigil should be inscribed in lines of flame on a brown triangle. It shows a 7-armed figure. The upper 4 arms terminate in yods, the lower 3 in crosses. The 7-armed figure is a glyph of the Tree of Life. Note, the upper 3 sephirot, or supernals, are not always included in diagrams of the tree. Noted. It has relevance to the worlds below the abyss. The 7 also refers to the original light in heaven, represented by the stars of Ursa Major. See the previous section. This interpretation is confirmed by the fact that 395, the number of Uriens, is also that of Hashemim, H-S-H-M-I-M. He, Shin, Mem, Yod, Mem, the heavens. Note also Shemayim. Ha-Shemayim is the word for heavens. Mayim is water. Shin is spirit, fire. So it's the ocean of spirit or fire is one way to interpret that. It's kind of interesting, I think. The 7 arms, the 4 yods, the 3 crosses make a total of 59 in all. 7 plus 40 plus 12. And this number furnishes a wealth of clues relevant to the meaning of the sigil. You know, just out of curiosity, let's look at Godwin's encyclopedia here. And let's look up the Gematria of 59. We've got a big giant book here that I stole from Half Price Books for $5. I didn't steal. I bought it from Half Price Books for $5 and then went home and looked on the internet, and the only copies I could find were $300. So I almost feel like I stole this. Anyway, moving on. 59 under Gematria. Okay, interestingly enough, all it says is it's a prime number, and it's the atomic number of praesodemium. So, you know, sometimes digging is fruitless, but now I know. I could probably come up with some gematrias for 59 if I had the time, but we're not going to get into that right now. Let's move on. Okay, according to the Kabbalah Denudata, note, translated by S. Liddell McGregor Mathers in Kabbalah Unveiled, 59 is Achim, meaning brethren. Aleph, Ket, Yod, Mem. Achim. It refers particularly to Samael, who is stationed in the midst of the zodiacal Qliphoth, accompanied by his Shakti, the elder Lilith, or Lilith. She guards the southeast corner. And her companions are the serpent and the man. The serpent is a glyph of menstruation and 59, as NDH means precisely this. Presumably nun, dalit, he, nada, nado, nade. It derives from the Egyptian word neti, so neti, meaning being, existence, negative, froth, the sign of bleeding, female source. The number therefore explains why the Adimeron, the bloody, are the Cliffoth attributed to the tunnel of Uriens. And the list of primes, Crowley describes 59 as the yoni calling for the lingam, as ovum menstruum, or alkali. Note here for primes in 777 revised. Okay. Where was I? Here we go. Furthermore, and to endorse the interpretation, the word ZNB, Zeneb, Zion Nun Bet, presumably, signifies tail or extremities. Actually, the little Hebrew I know, I believe that's Zanav. Zanav, I believe, is tail. But it would be spelled with a bet. So, 59 signifies tail or extremities. The name Uriens suggests Oriens, who, as Atlas, supported the universe on his shoulders. The idea of support, or bearing, is borne out by the general symbolism associated with this kala, which endows the adept with the magical siddhi of physical strength. The magical instrument ascribed to the 16th path is the seat, throne, or altar, which are curiously feminine symbols for a kala associated with the Heirophant. Note, the title of the tarot trump attributed to the 16th path. The magical instrument ascribed to the 16th path is the seat, throne, or altar, which are curiously feminine symbols for a kala associated with the Heirophant, until it is remembered that in the new eon, the Lord initiating, i.e. the Heirophant, is the god Set. Note, this vitally important fact was pointed out by Frater Akkad. See Cults of the Shadow. All right. In the new aeon, the Lord initiating is the god Set, who is identical with his mother Typhon, and therefore the continuation, as has been shown, of her kala, 15. She is in fact the goddess 15. I can only imagine what some people who have no idea what we're talking about hearing, she is in fact the goddess 15. Probably sounds so. But remember, numbers are entities. They are the primordials. Okay. Anyway, she is in fact the goddess 15, a name given to the woman fulfilled, whose symbol, the full moon, occurred on the 15th day. The 16th kala was therefore her child, i.e. Set and Set Typhon, under a single image, was typified by the dog star Sothis. According to Wilkinson, note, the ancient Egyptians, Set Typhon was known as the giant. Interesting. And this symbolism equates it with the pre-Eval Nephilim. See part 1, chapter 7, and elsewhere. Okay. The name of the seat in Egyptian is Hes, or Isis. The throne bears the god, as the woman bears the child, as the altar bears the priest. The part of the body associated with the 16th kala is the shoulder, a euphemism for that which bears or supports the world, i.e. the mother. Hence, the association with Atlas, Oriens, who bears the world on his shoulders. Uriens, or Oriens, as the name implies, is also attributable to the Orient, the place of the rising sun, or solar phallic power. This phenomenon, both in its cosmic, celestial, and in its microcosmic, biological, aspect, lies behind the name of the Ordo Templi Orientis, OTO, which, being interpreted, means the order of the temple of the exalted or risen phallus. Many interpretations. The verse of CCXXXI, or 231, presumably Liber Carcerorum, declares thus: also is the star of flame, i.e. the phallus, exalted, bridging benediction to the universe. A glance at the columns of Liber 777 shows that Uriens is attributed to the 11th Kala, which is ruled by air and whose tunnel is presided over by Satan, prince of the powers of the air. The number corresponding to the astral dimension of this Kala is 45, the number of Adam, man, ADM, Aleph, Dalet, Mem. He is one of the entities accompanying Lilith in the spaces between the south. It's italicized. The points of the zodiacal Qliphoth, at the center of which is the evil angel Samael. Within the inverted dimensions of these spaces stands the throne of Samael. Before this stands the altar on which is stretched the nocturnal Lilith, mother of abortions. Note, another reference to the Nephilim. The concept is explicit in the number of Uriens, 395, is MSHKLH, Meshikla, Mem Shin Chaf Lamed He, Meshikla. I don't know, sorry. So, the concept is explicit in the number of Uriens, for 395 is MSHKLH, abortians. Okay, so that must be the Hebrew word for abortion. Furthermore, the reflection of the Heirophant is refracted into the depths of the abyss in the form of Set or Pan, Samael, the devil, or double being the opposite image. The devil, or double, being the opposite image. Note, Satan means the opposer, or accuser. Likewise, this concept is explicit in the number of Uriens, for 395 is M, SH, and H, Meshana, meaning twofold, duplex, Mem, Shin, Nun, He. It derives from the Egyptian Shen, two, twofold circle, the other, the alter ego. Thus are the heavens, Hashemayim, H-S-H-M-I-M, Hashemayim, 395, reflected into the hells, and the Hierophant, or Magus, of the eternal, becomes the judge of the dead. Note, eternal, an alternative title of the tarot trump known as the Hierophant. Interesting. I was not aware of that, or at least I forgot if I was. Becomes the judge of the dead. Note, SHVPT, Judge, 395. Shin Vav Pe Tav, or Tet. Actually, I think it is a Tet because it's just T. Shin Vav Pe Tet. Shoft. Shopit. Anyway. The Eternal becomes the judge of the dead, whose symbol is the jackal, the howler in the haunts of the dead, and the eater of dung in the day of be with us. Okay, I'm going to reread that. Thus the heavens reflected into the hells, and the Hierophant, or Magus of the Eternal, becomes the judge of the dead, whose symbol is the jackal, the howler in the haunts of the dead, and the eater of dung in the day of be with us. Note, see Liber Chet Vel Velum, Abiegni. In the present context, the excremental refuse of the abortions of Lilith. So, okay. At the termination of this abominable repast, the Adimeron, the bloody, swarm across the desolate places of the void, leaving the rich brown juice of annihilation in their wake. Note, this is the color attributed to Path 16. Rich brown juice, everybody. Other denizens of the cell of Uriens are the Gorgons and the Minotaurs, which are linked with the Sun, it's S-U-N-S-O-N. They are linked with the sun, symbolic of Taurus, and the Hierophant, and with the magical force that turns to stone. Note, the name Set means a standing stone, and Isis means literally the seat of stone. The Minotaur was the monstrous offspring of Pasiphae, daughter of the sun, who copulated with a sacred bull. Interesting. Bulls, Mithra, sun, parallels. In the magical revival, I have given Crowley's description of the rite associated with the begetting of the Minotaur. In the magical revival, I have given Crowley's description of the rite associated with the begetting of the Minotaur. When it was obtained, it was imprisoned in a maze, into which youths and maidens were introduced for sacrificial purposes. They strayed to the depths of the labyrinth and were devoured by the beast. The serpent-haired Gorgon is a form of Lilith. She is girdled with snakes, and her glaring eyes turn to stone all who meet her gaze. Another animal associated with this path is the hippopotamus, a primordial image of Typhon, and the African cultus of the goddess Ife, I-F-E, typifies the 16th Kala, and she is represented by the gaping vulva of Iemoja, I-Y-E-M-O-G-A. The source of the manifested universe, borne upon the shoulders of Atlas, or in Uriens, the hippopotamus or water cow, very interesting. The hippopotamus or water cow is the great bear in the waters, the equivalent of Taurus, the bull of earth on dry land. Hence the connection with the goddess Venus. Venus rules Taurus. And the waters of the abyss. Iemoja means literally mother of fish, which shows the specifically sexual nature of her function. Okay. That is the end of the section of the Nightside of Eden. We will move into the Shadow Tarot next. Blackberry tea, guys. Don't sleep on it. Okay. Again, we'll show the image here. You can screenshot that if you want to meditate on it. Okay. Uriens, the shadow of the Heirophant. Trust in no one's personal path with humble openness to divine inspiration is the key to self-validation, self-initiation, and inner strength. I'll read that again. Trust in one's personal path. Trust in one's personal path with humble openness to divine inspiration is the key to self-validation, self-initiation, and inner strength. Trust in one's personal path with humble openness to divine inspiration is the key to self-validation, self-initiation, and inner strength. Yeah, there's no editing on this channel. Not yet, anyway. Okay, here we go. Dark and evil enter at the cross quarters of the compass. Dark and evil enter at the cross quarters of the compass. At the cross quarter celebrations of the year, so that the medieval churches planted gargoyles. Why can I not read today? Dark and evil enter at the cross quarters of the compass. At the cross quarter celebrations of the year, so that medieval churches planted gargoyles at the corners of cathedrals, stone demons peek out kitty corner from the feet of saints. Okay. Okay. Dark and evil enter at the cross quarters. So, medieval churches planted gargoyles at the corners of cathedrals. Stone demons peek out. I always thought it was catty corner. I guess kitty corner as well. Seemingly at the northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast. They peek out kitty corner from the feet of saints. Very interesting. The sigil of Uriens is painted on an inverted triangle reaching deep into the bowels of the abyss. The entrance to the tunnel suggests the gaping vulva of the goddess Iemoja, mother of fish, source of the manifested universe, which is borne upon the shoulders of Atlas, Uriens. He is girdled with 16 writhing gorgon serpents, anemone arms, enticing us within. Here is power of the feminine to turn strong men to stone. Here is the deep, instinctual, mesmerizing power of the yoni to exalt the phallus. In the northwest corner are the remnants of the sacred labyrinth, the senseless twistings leading nowhere, travails, confusions, convoluted paths of those who dare seek a Heirophant in this dark aeon. Indeed. These are youths led in sacrifice to be devoured by the monstrous Minotaur. Here are false prophets, drugged with mad effluvia of primitive back brain instincts, repressed, perverted by overweening solar consciousness. In the southeast is the jackal throne of Samael Set Satan, covered with geometrical designs of the kingdom of Mali, Africa, home of the Dogon tribe, ancient keepers of the secrets of extraterrestrial Nephilim, sojourners from the dog star Sirius. Upon this throne sits the elder Lilith, one of the Nephilim, depicted in Ishtar's temple at Assur, wearing goggles, spacesuit, and other strange devices of the star traveler. That is certainly one interpretation. And I'm not trying to imply that I don't agree with that interpretation. It's just important to remember that nothing ever just means anything. No one thing ever just means any one thing. Nothing ever just means anything. Okay? So, accompanied by her raven familiar, she is mute, implacable. A shaman, wielding the sympathetic magic of the horned mask of Samael, beseeches her for strength, power, and protection, for initiation into mysteries of Horus Mat. The quest is ill-directed, dangerous, for there is no God where I am. And Uriens, of course. And that is, it's a symbol. Uriens meditation, the power of Uriens, are the ability to ground oneself in self-validation. Here is found inner strength and courage to live by one's convictions, even against the promptings of common sense and better judgment. In Uriens is ability to face unafraid the awe and naked horror of existence, stripped in such childish illusions of divine protection. In Uriens, we experience innocent trust in the rightness of our personal path, no matter how unfortunate it may seem to the outer world, and humble receptivity to divine inspiration. When we experience run-ins with the law, we know we have fallen into the tunnel of Uriens. Need to work with the energies of Uriens may be signaled by encountering in oneself or others a tendency to depend upon authority for validation and direction, attendant upon belief in a higher power, belief in an ultimate meaning for our earthly existence, and perhaps protection as well. Here too we may encounter belief in all varieties of divine salvation, from second comings of the Christ, and a benevolent God, to UFOs and extraterrestrials who come upon a cloud, or in spaceships, to save humanity from their folly with their greater wisdom. Here too may be found spiritual pride, arrogance, excessive ego. On the other side, holy cow, I actually turned the page. Man, that's it. On the other side, comma. So whoever edited this book, man, I almost want to look up the original. So this was published seemingly by Linda Falorio. But I don't know if it's just someone else that published it for her and didn't want to take credit. There's no publisher mark. It just says Linda Falorio. So this is the copy that I could find. It's the copy that I got. It's the copy that I've been using. Yeah, it is what it is, folks. On the other side, comma. Okay. Last but not least, moving on to the tunnels of Set pathworking. Focus for a while on the sigil and chant or vibrate the name of the guardian. As you do this, imagine the image coming alive, moving and growing until you see it spreading before you like a landscape you can enter. Adjust your mind to the frequency of the tunnel and feel the energies of the realm flowing through the sigil into the ritual space. Visualize it as clouds of black and purple mist enveloping around you and blurring the border between the planes. They carry the smell of fire and sex, with sparkles of red and orange energy flickering around you. Let your consciousness shift and become attuned to the energies of the tunnel. Then extinguish the candles, close your eyes, and with the image building up in your inner mind, send a message to the guardian to guide you through the experience. Visualize that for a moment everything fades away and the whole world disappears. Then the darkness around you crystallizes into a scenery. You are inside a temple that looks like living flesh. The walls are made of green snakeskin and dripping ooze that makes the whole scenery look alive and dynamic. You walk ahead into the depths of the temple, greeted by female entities and snakes instead of hair, and male creatures with the bull's head. Finally, you arrive in a chamber that is full of fire and smoke. The guardian awaits you there. He is black and has the backward curling horns of a ram. Fire surrounds him, and he is holding flames in his hands. His phallus is erected, and as you approach, he ejaculates flaming sperm that makes an inverted pentagram on the floor. You enter the pentagram and feel that the flames enter your body through the soles of your feet, flowing up to the top of your head. The heat is intense, and it also feels sexual. You are now filled with living fire, which is an ecstatic experience, empowering and healing you from your physical and emotional wounds. All this makes you feel strong, determined, and energized, capable of achieving all of your goals, be it spiritual or mundane. Open yourself now for the communion with the guardian. Visualize yourself as the being itself and let your consciousness merge with that of the entity until you can see through its eyes and its senses become your senses. If it takes form of a sexual experience, let it happen and let the guardian initiate you into the mysteries of the tunnel. Filled with this energy, embark on a journey deeper into the realm, interacting with its denizens and exploring the powers contained within this path. Open yourself to whatever may happen, and when your journey is over, travel back to your body, close the working, and return to your normal consciousness. Everybody has their own way of doing their workings. Okay. That is all for this time. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop a comment. If you liked the video, leave a like so other people are more likely to see it, or don't. It is what it is. If you don't want to comment or like, I totally understand. This is some pretty out there information, and most people don't want to make a new account just to like or comment on a video. So no hard feelings. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week, and thanks for stopping by. Take care.